So we're going to go ahead and get started in a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like, feels like to you. Just take a minute to settle in, slow down that body, slow down that mind, slow down that breath. Sitting up nice and tall, vertebrae stacked one on top of the other. Creating some length and some lift through that spine. Some space in that spine. And just close your eyes. Keep them closed just for the first few minutes, as we always do. And if you're not comfortable closing your eyes, you can always just gaze down the bridge of your nose. But if you can, I always like to close those eyes, because once we close the eyes, it brings your body and your mind to a different place of awareness. Let your mind push out any extra activity that's going on around you. It just brings a little bit more focus into that body, and that mind, and that breath. And as you just take a couple more deep breaths here, bring your focus to your morning. Just bring your focus into your practice. And next time you inhale, lengthening and lifting up through the top of the head. As you exhale, take the right ear to the right shoulder, and then bring the head through center, and then bring the left ear to the left shoulder. So just taking that head through center, and then to each side, giving the side of the neck a little bit of a stretch. And then let's bring that right ear over to the right shoulder. Let's hold it here. Press that left shoulder down away. Create some space. Take a stretch through the side of the neck, through the shoulder. And then bringing that head through center, and take the left ear to the left shoulder. And then bring the head back up to center. And then from here, just lower that chin forward, stretching out the back of the neck. Push the shoulders back and down. And then from here, as you inhale, lift that head up and open up those eyes. Inhale the arms up, exhale, and let's fold forward. Seated forward fold. Head, chest, and body coming as far forward as you can go. Take a minute to let that back stretch, let those hips open up. And then from here, nice inhale, tight core, head up just a little bit and walk the arms over to the right. So just drape yourself over that right leg. A little bit different stretch through that low back. And then bring ourselves to center, and then over to the left. And then once again, back through center. Again, inhale, nice tight core, head up, and let's bring all that spine up together. And let's take those legs out from underneath us and extend those legs all the way out in front. And then let's go ahead and inhale the arms up and exhale and fold forward. Another seated forward fold, head, chest, and body coming as far forward as you can go. Take a minute again to let that back release and stretch, let those hamstrings stretch. And then one more nice deep breath. Let's inhale, and then let's bring ourselves all the way up together, all the way up. And then from here, making sure you've got some room to recline, because we're going to roll ourselves down really quickly. Roll down, take the hands out of our head, reach, point, and stretch. We're going to come down onto our back. And from here, flex that right foot, bring that right knee in towards that chest. Just hug that leg in as best as you can. A little more stretch through that lower body, reclining today on our back. And then just switch legs. Other leg comes in. And then from here, let's extend that leg. And we're going to bring ourselves up onto our forearms. So we're going to bring ourselves up, prop ourselves back on those forearms, elbows underneath those shoulders. We're going to bend those knees and bring those legs into a tabletop. So instead of lying on our back, which would be a little more intense, we're just going to come back onto the forearms. And here, we're just going to bicycle those legs out very slowly. Extend one leg. And again, just propping ourselves back on our forearms. A little less intensity for that core. Warming up that belly, and let's just extend that right leg and keep that left knee bent. So just come here and hold. And then back to that bicycle. And then let's extend the left knee, or left leg and right knee is bent. So come and hold. And then let's bend those knees, grab a hold below those knees on the shins. And we're just gonna rock and roll. We're gonna roll ourselves back, warming up that belly, warming up that back. Rock and roll back and forth one more time. Once we're up, come hover and hold here. Toes are just hovering right above the ground, lifting and lengthening through the top of the head. And then we're going to extend those legs forward and fold over them. So just fold. You generate a little bit of heat in that belly, a little bit of heat in that back. And then from here, once again, coming back onto those forearms, knees are bent. And this time we're gonna extend those legs up. And we're just gonna lower one leg at a time. In a scissor motion, extend, and bring that leg back. Let's take that right leg down and keep that left leg up, point the toes, just lift into an L where you can, and then bring it back up and again, alternate. And now if this is a little too intense, you can also bend your knees and you can drop a toe, all right, if needed. And then let's take that left leg long and hold here. So again, either in an L or you can have those knees bent. One more breath, and then bring those knees together. Once again, sitting, rolling back, walking back, rolling up. A couple times here, using that belly. Lift and hover and hold. And then once again, once we're up, hover, hold here, lift, lengthen through the top of the head. And then extend those legs and fold over them. So again, coming into that forward fold. And just take a minute, breathe here. And then from here, inhale, nice deep breath, head up. Let's bring ourselves all the way up and come on to our hands and our knees for a couple cat-cows. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Hands about shoulder width, knees about hip distance, cat. Bring that chin in towards your chest, tuck that tailbone under, round that spine, and give it a nice big stretch. And then reversing that curl, making our way into cow, tailbone lifts up behind us, shoulder blades come together. And then moving through cat, moving through cow, round, reverse, inhale, exhale, move at your own pace. Give that spine a nice big stretch. One more time each way. And then we're going to make our way into a neutral spine, whatever a flat back would be for you. So letting that back go to neutral, but that doesn't mean to let those abdominals go. You're still pulling that belly in nice and tight. And I say whatever your flat back is, you might have a natural curvature in your spine. So if you looked in the mirror, your back might not be completely straight. There might be some sort of a curve, which is totally fine. It's just whatever is your nature of your body. Into a little bit of spinal balance. We're going to take the left leg out and take the right arm out in front. So coming just in spinal balance, extending that leg, extending that arm. Bring yourself to a place where you can just quiet that body down, still down that, right down that movement. Looking down somewhere beside that hand. And then we bring that elbow towards that knee. And that knee towards that elbow. And extend and reach. Elbow towards the knee. Extend and reach. Continue to breathe. One more time. And then we're going to come back and hold. Reach that arm long, reach that leg long. One more breath. And we're going to take that hand down and we're going to take that leg, that left leg over, cross it over the right, and just sit over onto the right hip. So stretching the outside of that right hip a little bit, cross that leg over, just sit over so where you feel a good stretch in the back side. And the right gluteus, right glute, right hip. Just find a place, sit over, hold here, take a couple breaths. And then from here, bring yourself back to center. Give me a couple cat-cows here on our forearms. And then once again to that neutral spine, back up onto our hands, back up onto our knees. Send that right leg back behind you and take that left arm out in front. And again, find that balance. Find a nice quiet place to hold that body. Reach long through those fingers, reach long through the toes. And then bring that elbow towards that knee towards the elbow, and extend. And again, knee and arm come together. Continue to breathe. One more time. And then let's just come, reach and extend and hold. Find some balance again. Hold here. One more breath. I'm going to take that hand down. And again, take that leg over, across, sit over onto the left side. Find a place to get a stretch now. And the left hip. And just hold it here. And from here, nice deep breath. Bring that leg back. One more time, couple more cat-cows here. Round reverse. And then once again to that neutral spine, hands down, curl the toes, downward facing dog. So as we come into a downward facing dog, if you need to, it feels good, you can walk it out. And then from here, just going to push that body weight back through that right heel and just bend into that left knee a little bit. So take that work into that right leg and take that press back and then switch sides. And then once again, switch. And then again, one more time, switch. And then equal weight, pushing back through both heels. Looking towards those hands, walk those feet to those hands, to a standing forward fold. Head, chest, and body coming towards those legs, lengthening those hamstrings, drawing it all together. And then from here, just walking that upper body and those hands over a little bit to the right. Just walk it over. Let's stretch a little bit different through the back. And then walk it over a little bit to the left. Some long hamstrings, just changing that upper body positioning a little bit. Take that stretch a little bit different through the back and maybe a little bit different through the back of the legs. Take it back to center. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, release, inhale, arms up to the side, head up, nice flat back. Leading with that chest, making our way up to standing. And bring it up and bring it around to center. And then from here, we're just gonna make our way into our tree, a little bit of standing balance. Remember, if in your tree pose, if you need help with balance, find something you can hold on to, or if you want to take a kickstand, you can take your easiest place here, next easiest. But standing on that left leg, taking that right foot anywhere except for where that knee bends. And let's just start with our hands at our heart center. And then if you are up for a little bit of a challenge, you can take the arms up, out to the side, and back down and around. And you're up for even more of a challenge, you can take that gaze with you. So tilting that head up as you take the arms up, and then tilting the head down So again, only if you're up for that challenge. If you're not up for it, you can keep the head neutral. You can keep the hands and not move them. It's just entirely up to you. But give yourself some sort of a challenge, drawing that right knee out and open. One more time. Once we get those hands back up, let's just hold it here and just lengthen and lift through our tree. And again, too, if you're up for a challenge, you can take your gaze up. Entirely up to you. Lengthen and lift through that left leg, lengthen and lift through that spine. And then bringing the hands back to center. And again, too, if you're up for the challenge, tilt the head down just a little bit. Look down over those fingertips. One more breath. And then from here, as we release that leg, we're gonna cross that leg over. So crossing that right leg over the left. Make sure you're well balanced because we are gonna fold forward. Inhale up and exhale and fold forward. So standing forward fold, head, chest, and body coming towards those legs. Here too, if you have any yoga blocks or as I demonstrated last week with a book, you can use that here. Lengthen both legs, taking the stretch through the IT band on the left leg. So the outside of the left leg from the knee to the hip. Maybe where we're feeling a little bit more stretching. You can take a block if you have one. And then from here, we're gonna walk ourselves over a little bit to the right. And we did this earlier just with both feet side by side. Now just walking over a little bit to the right, a little bit more stretch. Again, maybe a different part of the back, maybe a different part of the leg or the hip. And then bring it back to center. Back to center. Hold here. Take a couple more breaths. Inhale, exhale. If you ever need more challenge, close your eyes. Close your eyes. That's a different balance element. Doesn't matter what we're doing. And then let's inhale into a flat back. And then exhale, back down, inhale, arms out to the side, head up, chest leads, nice flat back, up we come. And bring the hands down and around. And then we'll uncross, shake it out. And get ready for tree arm on the other side. Again, if you need help with balance, something to stand up against, to fall into is the best thing. So if you're at a wall or a piece of furniture that won't go anywhere, but if you don't have that, again, you have that kickstand option. So find that place that works, find your balance. Start first with those hands at the heart center. Draw that knee out and open. So first, find your balance. Hold here. Hey there, Sabrina. All right. So again, find that balance. And then if you're up for that challenge, moving those hands. And again, arms up, arms around. If you're not up for that challenge, keep your hands right where they were. So if your challenge is just standing here and being stable, then take that challenge. But if you need more, and again, take the gaze with you. That's just if you need something else to challenge your balance, challenge your strength. Maybe that's not for you today. Just do what you need. And then once we get those arms back up, we're gonna hold it here. And again, just lengthen and lift through the tree. And again, if you need that extra challenge, take your gaze up. And again, it might not be needed. Might not be you today, just do what's needed. Lengthen and lift, stand tall. Lengthen and lift through those arms, lengthen and lift through that spine. One more breath. And then we'll bring those hands back to that heart center. And again, too, if you're up for that challenge, take the gaze down. One more breath. And then as we release the left leg, we're gonna cross the left leg over the right. So once again, cross it over. Make sure you've got a nice solid base. Inhale up, exhale, fold yourself forward. And again, too, if you can't get the hands to the ground yet, you can take the hands to your shin, but if you're looking for a little more stability, a block or a book to help stabilize a little bit, stretch to the outside of that right leg is what we're aiming for. And then again, walk ourselves a little bit over to the left. Make that stretch a little bit more, a little bit further. And then back to center. Inhale to that flat back. Just taking that head up halfway, a little bit of blood flow coming back to that head. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms up to the side, head up, chest leads. Nice flat back. Back up we go. Standing. Bring the hands back down around to our heart center. And then from here, come uncross those legs. Shake it out. Do what you need. All right, making our way down to the ground. So making sure you have some room to move about. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, let's fold forward. So back into that standing forward fold. Now, just thinking, if you need to, you can shift the weight out one leg to the other. Does it feel a little bit different now after we came and folded with one leg crossed over the other leg? Maybe not. And then from here, let's just go ahead and lengthen that right leg and bend that left knee. And as we do, take that right arm up. So the right leg's a little bit longer, stretching a little more, reaching that right arm up. Left knee is a little soft. And then taking that hand down and just switch. Again, left leg is long, left arm comes up. Also too, here would be where if you needed a little help to get that hand down, a block would be useful. And then again, switch sides. And then once again, switch. And then back to center. Equal weight, pulling it through both legs. Hold here, one more breath. And then take those hands down, walk or jump into a plank. Pull that belly in nice and tight. Take that gaze forward. And then from here, slowly, chaturanga, lower down. Lift up to your up dog. And when you're ready, your down dog. So coming into that down dog, pushing that body weight back through those heels. That chest pushing it away from the arms. And just hold it here. Take a couple breaths. Breathing. And then we're going to lift the right leg up behind us, nice and high. Do our down dog splits. Bend the knee, swing it forward, planting it in between the hands. If it didn't get there, pick it up and move it and up into a high lunge. So lifting ourselves up through a high lunge. Just coming here, bending into both knees, reaching those arms long and above your head. And then let's take those hands back behind us. Roll the shoulders back and down, and let's fold over that leg. And we're into a humble warrior because we're also going to drop onto the inside of the back foot and bring our legs into our warrior feet. Move that right toes forward, left toes out to the side. But the arms are still clasped behind you and lifting up overhead. Humble warrior here. One more breath. And then we're just going to bring ourselves up into warrior one. So we're just going to lift those arms up, lift the chest up. Then we draw that left hip forward. So again, we've got the right toe to the front, left toe to the side. So we've got those legs there. But now we've got that left hip coming forward, drawing that hip in. Warrior one. One more breath. And then open up the hips, open up the arms to warrior two. So as we come here, take a look, see where it's just a little bit different, taking that left hip now and opening it versus closing. Squeeze those shoulder blades and reach long. You can take that gaze out over those fingertips if you wish. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. But I always say with that head and that neck, it's anywhere that that neck stability will allow you to go. One more breath. And then from here to our side angle, right elbow above that left knee, and that left arm comes up overhead. And now two here, you can take that right arm if you'd like, you can drop it inside or outside of that foot. But the most important thing is you want to keep that left shoulder open, keep that bicep over that ear, keep the chest open. Just take that reach along through the left side of the body. Then again, it's totally fine to keep that right arm bent and above that right knee. Just depends on what works for you. Letting that stretch all the way through the left side of the body. One more breath. And then from here, let's take those hands down. Let's pivot back towards that right leg. Send that right leg back behind us to our down dog splits. Angle forward to a one-legged plank. Through that plank, let's slowly release down to your up dog. And then when you're ready, back to your down dog. So coming back into our down dog, pushing that body weight back into those heels, chest away from the arms. Hold it here. Take a few breaths. Breathe. And then let's lift that left leg up behind us, nice and high. Do your down dog splits. Bend that knee, swing it forward. Remember, it's in between the hands, or else move it up to your high lunge. Lift yourself up. Take the arms with you. If you need a little help with balance, you can always lower that left knee, or that right knee, excuse me. Take those hands together, and let's fold over that left leg. So again, still balancing on the ball of the back foot. Bring the arms forward and over. And then let's drop onto the inside of the back foot. Humble warrior here. And then release the arms. Warrior one. Bring ourselves up, drawing that left hip forward. Coming. Again, trying to take that right hip, draw it forward. One more breath. And now warrior two, open up through the hips, open up through the arms. I'm just changing again, the hip positioning, opening up. Feet can pretty much relatively stay the same. Remember though, with that right heel, aiming it down a little bit towards the left corner of your mat can help protect that knee. Hold here, breathe. And then from here to that side angle. And again, starting with that right arm, that bicep right above that ear, reach that right arm over. And again, the left arm can stay bent. You can drop it down inside the leg, whatever works, but really just again, aim for that stretch down, all the way down through the side of the body. And breathe. One more breath. And then from here, cartwheeling those hands down, send that left leg back behind you, back into your down dog splits. Angle forward to that one-legged plank. Through here, go ahead, up dog to your down dog. So coming into that down dog, pushing that body weight back into those heels, chest away from the arms. Take a moment, take a few breaths, breathe. And then from here, let's come down to our knees into a child's pose. So feet together, knees apart. I'm gonna take the knees even wider, feel free, whatever feels good. Reach the arms forward, sit back onto those heels. And then for just a little bit different stretch, you're gonna pick up one foot and move it out to the side and then the other. So maybe on the outside of the knees, and just sit back for a moment, getting a little bit deeper stretch into our hip flexors. Instead of having the feet together, the feet are apart, maybe even outside of the knees. And bring those feet back. And then from here, lifting that head up, we're going to walk those hands back. And right here, we're going to stay here for a moment as we stretch those feet out a little bit. So we're going to curl those toes, and we're going to sit back onto those heels. So stretching out the arches of those feet. So coming onto the toes and back onto the heels. And while those feet are stretching, let's bring the arms up overhead, take the arms out to the side, and take the right arm across the chest. So we're just stretching the arches of the feet. When the feet are done stretching, when you've had enough, you can come off of them and sit back. But if you're good to keep them stretching, feel free. Take the arms out and then take the left arm across. Use the right arm to just stretch that shoulder. Again, when you're done, you can take those feet, you can release them, you can sit back onto the heels like we normally do. And this also stretches the feet the opposite way when we're stretching the tops of the feet. And then from here, go ahead and release. And then let's take the hands down with the fingers to the back. And then from here, we're gonna just squeeze those shoulder blades together and let that head drop back if you can. Open up through the chest. If you don't have good neck stability, we wouldn't suggest dropping that head back. You want to keep that head up. You can just take the shoulder blades, pull them together. One more breath. And then from here, release. And go ahead and bring ourselves forward. And then from here, we're going to take those feet out from underneath us, either cross them and sit back, or just take them out from around, and working into that core a little bit more as we make our way into boat. So in our boat pose, we're going to take ourselves with those feet out in front of those knees. First, we're just going to sit up nice and tall. Now, if you need to, you can take the hands to the shins or the hamstrings, but then we're going to lean back to that V point with that body. And then as you can, you're going to lift those legs. You're going to squeeze those inner thighs together. Come into your boat. And here, if you can, lifting the arms up. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Use that belly. Take the arms down. One more breath. And then from here, we're going to extend those legs and we're going to fold forward. So getting into a forward fold. Head, chest, and body come towards those legs. Take a minute, just break. And then from here, inhale, bring ourselves up. Once again, bend the knees. This time though, we're gonna take the hands to the back of the legs around the calves, and we're gonna lean and we're gonna come back. So as we're here, we've got to hold the back of the legs, and we're just coming into that V-sit. And then as you can, extend those legs. You can keep a hold of those legs, but try and come here, try and extend those legs, squeeze those inner thighs together. And then if you can, release those arms. If you can, arms can come overhead, just depends what works. If you're not there, hold those legs and try and extend. Try and roll those shoulders back and down. Hold, hold, hold. Breathe. Belly in tight. One more breath. And then, once again, take yourself forward. So coming in to a forward fold again. Once again, inhale, head up. Bring yourselves back, and then we're going to come into any boat you'd like. So we've come to 2 different variations. So come do what works for you. Extend those legs if you'd like. Keep those knees bent. Whatever works, whatever's your desire to do. Pull that belly in tight. Roll those shoulders back and down. Lift up through the top of the head. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Take a few more breaths right here in some sort of a boat that represents what you're here for today. One more breath. And then this time as we release those legs, we're going to release ourselves all the way onto our back. We're going to take the hands out of our head and reach, point, and stretch. And now give that belly a little bit of a break as you reach long, stretch through the belly and back. And then from here, bring the hands down beside you. And then from here, make our way into bridge. So we're going to bend the knees. Feet on the floor, hands are down by your side, and we're just going to start to lift one vertebrae at a time up off the ground. As we do, again, we're going to squeeze those inner thighs together. We're just going to lift up into a bridge using the back side of the body, wherever it's comfortable for you. If you do come a little bit further up onto the vertebrae that get closer to the neck, just be leery of that neck. Don't want to put a lot of pressure on that neck as we're lifting that spine. It's okay to keep that upper back down. Help support that body. One more breath. And then from here, we're going to slowly release ourselves down. Grab a hold of those shins below those knees. And then as we did before in our warm-up, we're just going to rock and roll ourselves up and rock and roll ourselves down. And then up we come, hold here, hover, toes. Maybe here a little bit easier to happen to come here Lift and lengthen through the top of the head. And then release yourself down and give it a big stretch. And then from here, we did this for at the beginning. Now that we're a little warmer, we're going to do this lying back. But if you do need to recline back onto your forearms to make it a little less intense, feel free. But if you can, bend those knees up over those hips. And we're just lying back. And we're just going to extend one leg. Bicycle those legs. Again, like I said, we did this at the beginning. If you need a little less intensity, you can come to those forearms. But if you're up for the intensity, right leg extends, left knee bends, and we just hover and we hold. And then from here, once again, exchange those legs one at a time. And then that left leg hovers and holds. And then one more time, exchange. And then from here, once again, bend the knees, grab hold below the knees, rock and roll yourself up, rock it down. And one more time, once we're up, again, just hover, come and hold. If you want to come to a different variation, you can come to a different boat. It's entirely up to you. Just take one more breath right here, and then release yourself down. So the belly should be good and warm, so is that back. Giving that core a little bit of extra work. And then from here, bringing the hands down by our sides. And then from here, bring those legs up. Now too, if you have an issue with keeping that low back planted on the ground, you can take the hands underneath the hips. The legs are up again, as we did in our warm up. One leg up, one leg down. And then also too, if that body is good and warm, you can switch them mid switch, or you can wait till that leg comes up to extend that leg down. And then one leg comes down, one leg stays up. Just hover, just hold. Belly in, nice and tight, breathe. And then once again, exchange those legs. Remember which leg was down, which leg was up. So now we're gonna come to the other side and hold. Hover, hold. And then once again, switch. And then from here, once again, knees come in towards your chest. Rock and roll yourself up and back. And then once again, when we're up, we hold. And again, if you want to come to a different variation of boat, you don't have to hold those shins. You can release those arms. You can extend those legs. Whatever works. One more breath. And then we're going to release ourselves down. Hands out over the head. Reach, point, and stretch. And now that that body is good and warm, we're going to make our way to one final posture for today, into our shoulder stand. Now, you have the option of bringing yourself into a bridge if you're not comfortable coming into shoulder stand, because it does take yourself up onto that cervical vertebrae. So if you do have neck stability issues, would not suggest doing this. But so if you're not good with it, you can just bring yourself up into a bridge. But if you are good, you're going to start with those knees on the side, bent, feet on the floor, hands by your side, and then you're going to draw those knees in towards your chest. As you do, you're going to lift those legs up, and you're going to grab a hold of that low back. So you're going to basically bring yourself up here, swing yourself up. Now, as you get here, if you have issues, too, you can always bend the knees, but if you can, lift those legs and then try and draw those feet up right over those hips. So trying to draw those legs out as you can. If you are good and stable, you can release those arms. Again, if it bothers your neck, you can always stay into a regular bridge. Take one more breath. And then to come out of it, we are going to bend those knees, and we're going to rock and roll ourselves down, and then just take ourselves all the way long and reach, point, and stretch. A little brief stretch here. And then bring that right knee into your chest, just as we did before in the beginning of our practice. Maybe now feeling a little bit different as we hug that leg in, a little more release in the back maybe, or the hip, maybe not. And then from here, same hand holds it, let it drop out to the side. And then from here, opposite hand grabs it, pull it across. And bring it back to center, switch legs, other knee in, grab a hold below the knee on the shin, pull it in, flex the foot, protect the knee. And then again, same hand, same leg, let it drop out, open up inside of the hip. All right, switch it, bring it across. You just might need to maneuver that leg to where you feel a stretch around the backside. And then bring it back to center. And then from here, both knees in. And just go ahead and give yourself some big circles. And then the other way. And then rock it out side to side where it feels good. And then next up, as we make our way into our final posture for Shavasana, feel free. Any place that works for you. Traditional is corpse pose with the legs extended, arms extended by your side, palms up, legs relaxing, a comfortable distance for you, closing your eyes. Just remembering to take some sort of a place where you can relax that body and relax that mind. Keeping those eyes closed and just continue to breathe. Slowly bringing some awareness back into that body and that mind with those hands, feet, fingers, toes, arms, legs, or even that head, side to side, circles. And when you're ready, using your outside, roll over and go side of your choice. Anyone who's pregnant should go left, everybody else can choose a side. Remain here for a moment, and as we do, don't let yesterday use up too much of today. Don't let yesterday use up too much of today. And that's a Cherokee Indian proverb. And then when you're ready, use your side arm, push yourself back up where we began, back where we started this morning, and remembering as we move forward, continuing to move forward, don't let yesterday or even the doings of today take up too much time for your future. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Namaste. Thanks, you guys. Great to see you. Have a good day.